Hey, good morning, Jason W. Perkins. Some of my friends and subscribers actually suggested that I do some more basic videos that talk about what you would put in your bag to do outdoors stuff and even camping, like backpacking or just, having camp in a bag. And so I want to do kind of a mini video series of just the basics of what to start out with when you're enjoying the outdoors. And so today I'm going to be talking about Dave Canterbury's 5 C's. Dave Canterbury is a wilderness survival expert and has his own school and everything like that. You can look him up. Most people that are into this genre of bushcraft already know the name. But anyway, so he has 5 C's, which it's 5 groups or 5 basic categories that supply you with the most essential tools, I guess you could say, for being outdoors. It was designed to show the minimum amount of equipment that you need in a survival situation. So I actually have 2 additional things that I add to the 5 C's, and I'm going to show you that. So I'm going to show you 7 items today. Most people that do the 5 C's that adhere to that also, with not consciously, they actually add these 7 items. So, but I will show you right here. This is first. This is the first item, which is not a part of the 5 C's, but most everybody has some kind of bag to put their stuff in. So backpack is good. This is a real small one. This is one of the backpacks I use when I'm just walking nature trails and I only want to have a few items in here. Now, what I'm going to show you today is just the bare minimum equipment that you will need to start out with. It's not full. It's not a full camping backpack. This is what you're going to start out with. And once you have the 5 C's or this 7 items that I'm going to show you, then you start adding more things to your kit to make yourself more comfortable and have access to more of the woods. Because with this is kind of what you want to take if you're walking trails and stuff. Alright, so the first thing is a backpack. If you're going to be camping, you want it to be larger than this because you're going to be bringing a few more things. I'm going to do another video like that, like a camping backpack, and talk more about bushcraft and what that is, and the difference between a backpacking backpack and a bushcraft backpack and stuff like that. And I'm going to get to those videos and show different like cookware sets and stuff that you can bring. But right now, just the 5 C's. I went ahead and wrote this down. So here it is right here. Cutting tools, combustion device, cover, containers, cordage. So the first one is your cutting tool. This is going to be your main thing. And it's usually a knife because knives are the most versatile cutting tool. But you will want something that you can use to cut vines, cut wood, for firewood. The 5 C's were actually major categories that you will have multiple items in each of the categories. So like if it says cutting tool, it's assuming that you're going to have more than one cutting tool. But just for sake of simplicity, knife. That's your most basic cutting tool. I mean, if you were to only have one tool with you, you'd want a knife. and one that's not a folding knife. However, the knife that works the best is one that has a 90-degree spine. It's a full tang, which means the actual metal goes all the way through the handle, just like this. And one that's not too big or too small, so that you can do large tasks and small tasks. But anyway, I'm just going to get to the basics. Start with that, and then I'm going to go into detail in another video about different types of knives, different types of cutting utensils, how you can use them. So, knife, and then this, and that is cutting tool. The first C is cutting tool. Second C is combustion device. And this is a basic Bic lighter. There's also other things that you can use, like matches, preferably waterproof matches, even though I don't suggest that because they don't last very long. And a Bic lighter is probably the best bet. You know, you can get lots of lights out of this, and even when you run out of fuel, you can still get a spark. So more in detail about fire starting and stuff like that in other videos. But that's combustion. Cover elements. This is going to be the part of your bag that takes up the most space and possibly the heaviest. The most basic is just a tarp. I like using cheap plastic tarps. They're waterproof, ripstop for the most part. Of course, there's all different kinds of things you can use as a cover. You can use a canvas tarp. You can use a wool blanket. That'll actually keep you really warm. Or you can just have really warm clothes and a nice big coat if it's cold outside. You know, you want to have something that you can use to protect you from wind, from rain, from snow. Basically just cover you and keep you warm, keep you safe, shade in the summer. This combined with a fire, and they will keep you warm. So that's the third C, is cover. You have cutting tool, combustion, and cover. The next thing is container. A container, I just have this stainless steel cup or pot. It's a small pot or a large cup, and it's versatile because it's stainless steel. You can put this straight onto the fire, and the advantage of that is that you can boil water in here. You can use this to cook your food. You can use this to boil water if you need water purification. If you're going to get water out of the river, let's say you run out of water in your plastic water bottle that you have brought with you, and it's good to have as many containers as you can get when transporting water and stuff, as long as it's not too heavy. But let's say you run out and you got to get water out of the river. You're not going to want to just drink that water right out of the river. You want to boil it or bring some type of water purification system, such as a filter or purification tablets. But the best way and the most basic way to purify water is just to boil it. And so stainless steel cup, pot, container, something that you can eat out of, drink out of. You can bring multiple containers, or just starting out, if you want to just start out with one of each of the 5 C's, that's a good way to go. Stainless steel cup. The last of the 5 C's is cordage. And I like using paracord because, as you can see, when you cut it, there's several strands in here. You can get paracord that has 5 strands, 7, or even 9. And there's multiple cords inside this paracord. So you could actually take these strands out of the paracord and still use the casing. You have the fibers, and then you have the strands. Each of these strands can be broken down into smaller fibers, so it's just very fibrous. You can use this as a fire starter. It's super strong. I think this is 550, I believe, so 550 pound test weight on this. There's other types of cord. You know, you can actually make cord out of bark, or you can bring rope, you can bring natural cordage, you can bring any type of string, you can bring fishing line, you can bring bank line. There's lots of different cordage you can use. This is probably the most versatile. I like the bright color so you don't lose it, you don't trip over a tent line. You know, if you're setting up your tarp, but you know, there's different colors of this. You can get camo, paracord, or black, or whatever. So cordage, that's the 5 C's right here. So we've got a good tarp, a knife, lighter, pot, and a whole bunch of cordage. And that's hard to come by if you're trying to make this from natural elements. So to bring a bunch of this, it doesn't weigh that much. It's worth it. So there's your 5 C's, and this is Dave Canterbury's 5 C's: cutting tool, combustion, cover, container, and cordage. Now, the 2 additional things, which everybody really includes with the 5 C's, but they don't actually mention them, is just some kind of carrying case or bag to put all your stuff in. And some people say, well, that's a part of containers. You know, you're just bringing 2 containers. Well, that's fine. But the 7th thing, excuse me, the 7th thing, which I think is probably should be the number 1 thing, is your first aid kit. First aid. I just chose this one because it's bright. I really like the case on this. I make my own first aid kits. I buy a first aid kit and I just kind of modify it to make it suit my needs. But you can go and buy pre-made first aid kits at Walmart or anywhere, any outdoor sports place. But that is the main thing right there. So hopefully you can see all this. That's what you start out with, these 7 items. And they don't have to be exactly like this, you know, it's whatever you have. You can start out with, I don't know, $30 worth of stuff. You can get $10 bag. This costs like $3. This is what, $1. A knife. This is an expensive knife, but it's, you know, you can start out with any knife that you want as long as you have one. I think I paid $6 for this tarp. This cup, I think there's $5 at Walmart, maybe 4. First aid kit. You might be spending $10 on a decent first aid kit. You can get the real small pocket ones for like $4, $5. So, anyways, that's what you start out with. If you like my video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. And I'm going to do a lot more of these more basic videos teaching how to build a basic outdoors kit for backpacking, bushcraft, camping, that type of stuff. Alright guys, you have a good day. God bless.